Good morning, friends. So I'm making this video in Ukraine, which is our new stop now, our new home sweet here. And we've been here for a little bit over a day. And yesterday we met our new Workaway host. We're going to be helping out at an American English school. I'm really excited about it. And they've gotten the volunteers an apartment. They just finished the lease yesterday, and we saw it for the first time last night. Came here with them. They signed the papers and stuff. So I'm going to show you some of my first impressions of our neighborhood. Okay, so this is the door into our building. It's definitely an example of you can't judge a book by its cover. Neighbors have been coming out. Good morning, hi. It's one of these kind of things where you got to put a key fob there to open it up, or you can push the button to your room and talk on the little phone upstairs. I'll show you the inside of it later. It's really, really, really cool. So much more than I expected. So I'm going to walk this way because this is the way to the school. We're going to be meeting there in a couple hours. I'm just going to go kind of check out what the route's like. This street doesn't look all that spectacular, but these buildings are actually quite beautiful if you look at them closely. Just a lot of them could use some cleaning. The details inside. Oh, somebody dropped some clothing. That's a drag. I dropped a bouquet the other day in another town in Slovakia that an old man had given me, and I came back like an hour later, just happened to be walking in the same place, and it was still there. No one had picked it up. I was so touched by that. I didn't expect to find it again. So we're going to be here, I don't know, like to the middle of next month. And this is the town of Chernivtsi Ukraine. It's western Ukraine, not so far from the border. We're about 700 miles away from where the tensions have been happening and the problems with Crimea and Russia, unfortunately. And this is, there's a lot to learn. I'm very, very excited about the cultural opportunity because our role is to be native speakers at the school, and the students are anxious to have a chance to use their English and to tell stories out here. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's an American that started the school a few years ago. Good morning. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so there's several things about this town that I've already found that I really like. And one of them is that they have dining options that remind me a lot of our old cafeterias. It's kind of like a smash up between the old cafeterias in America, like Morrison's and Piccadilly, where you can see the food and kind of pick the stuff you wanted in the moment. And with like a Whole Foods hot bar where it's done by weight. So you point at what you want and just indicate about how much of it you're going to get. It's very affordable. And I can even get, like rice dishes and things early in the morning, just to give you a little bit more sense of the architecture. The architecture of the city is what's one of their greatest sources of pride. There's a lot of Viennese, Austrian influence, and you see a lot of things that remind me of deco styling, real curvy metalwork, and very beautiful. Some beautiful churches. It's walkable. It's a good size. We took public transportation. Our first public transportation we took came once every minute, believe it or not. It was just a few meters away from our Airbnb. And it ended up being like 20 cents a person. And then the next day we took a different bus, and it was 13 cents a person. So one was kind of like a private operator. There's a money exchange place. One was a private operator, and the other one was Yeah, like the public option. Students. Ethnic diversity makes me feel more at home. Yeah, some places you go, you just see very little diversity. That word over there means like apothecary. It's a drugstore. One thing that we've seen here that's different than most places that we travel is very, very few signs are also written in English. Many countries, even in Asia. Well, here's an example, like up there, that's almost all in Ukrainian, but right in the corner up there it says window door systems. So that's good. It's going to really help me work on my Cyrillic alphabet, because words might be kind of English sounding if you could just sound them out by knowing the alphabet. A lot of these places, mozzarella. Oh, it's a convenience store. I thought maybe it was a pizza joint by the name. Okay. Excuse me. What do we got here? Another little convenient. That one looks like it's mainly baby supplies. A baby supply store. Rush hour traffic. My body can feel all the walking I've been doing lately. We really put in some miles this last couple of weeks. It's a little bit uphill. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going a little uphill. That's nice. This is kind of fun to give you an idea of what I mean about learning the Cyrillic alphabet. So this is actually makes the sound of an R. That makes the sound of an S, and there's another R, and that makes the sound of an N. So you got restaurant. So that's the restaurant, just without the T. And here, this makes a K like K, and that's the sign for an F. So café. So it'd be like a coffee shop. It's open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Looks like the school buses might be yellow. No, I think that's an everybody bus. The old Optimist. See, this is interesting, right? Because here's coffee shops, but they're not all open necessarily early in the morning. A lot of places have coffee shops that are coffee shops and bars, and they don't necessarily do that first thing in the morning thing. They're kind of like all day long, late into the night hangs. Getting to some of the real beautiful part of town. Here's a church that's considered new by their standards here, relatively new. Get out of the way for that policeman comes. I'm not used to hearing sirens much anymore. Where's the action? Yeah, I haven't seen anything here like soldiers with rifles or anything like that. This lady, she's doing, you might have missed it, she was doing her cross symbols when she passes the church. It's like I was saying, this church is relatively new. It was built in the 1800s. I'm dropping in this little bit of video that I took a day later when I found the church open and had a chance to come in and look inside, and wanted to show you around just a little bit. It's absolutely magnificent. People are walking around and following their traditional rituals of kissing artwork and crossing themselves. There were also people out front doing some begging. I haven't seen much begging here, but the interior, as you can see, is just incredibly magnificent. Like in Bulgaria, they don't have seating. There's not rows of pews like in America. Lots of big, beautiful parks here. One even has a permanent amusement park with roller coasters and a Ferris wheel and like all kinds of stuff. By waiting on the bus. Excuse me. See, there are electric buses here as well as regular buses. This is interesting if you're not familiar. It's where there's different companies on here. You can come and add money and add data to your phone plan, data plans. Pay as you go. We haven't found out how much data is here, but I've got a feeling it's going to be quite affordable. And lots of the restaurants and places that you can hang have, not only do they have Wi-Fi, but often it's open, so you don't even have to ask for a password. So you can see that building at the end of this street here. That's where I would go if I was going to the school. It's like down to that block and take a right, and then just a couple blocks there on the right. So just to show you how close I am. And this is where I'm gonna go, because I've been here a couple times already and I like it. I'll show you inside. If I could eat gluten and dairy, I'd be all over this. But again, so here's the bakery part in the front. Kind of give you an idea, kind of things that they sell. Those look like they're about 50 cents a piece. These are about 30 cents a piece. The ice cream options by the scoop. And here's the cafeteria part. Got the TV going. And you just come in and check out what they have. So no grits and eggs and bacon, but I can work with what they've got to choose from here. Okay, well, I just had a cup of tea, and I think I'm going to continue on. That beautiful church is behind me, and I'm going to show you the walk from here to where the school is. Okay. That's where I was. Ahead of us, so here's the big, beautiful church on this side. I haven't gone in there yet. Looking forward to that. It's got a giant dome. Ooh, are the doors open? I think I might have seen the front door ajar. But I bet it's beautiful. So this street that's directly ahead of me that the school is on is like the main boulevard, and where tourists would come and walk a lot in the summertime. It's the end of the tourist season now. And there's definitely a fall chill in the air. I had a little lightweight jacket that came with the house in Bulgaria. It was dry rotting. It had a couple places where it was starting to tear apart, but I accidentally left it in Austria. But I'm not bummed about that, because there's a lot of thrift stores here, and it'll be fun finding some more sleeves. I've got my pashmina wrapped around my neck from Nepal. My handy dandy pashmina that I use it for everything. I use it for a blanket when I'm on the train. I use it to keep me warm. I use it to wrap myself if I'm like trotting through a home in the middle of the night, going to the restroom. It works like a sarong. Yeah, it's just been a really great addition to my travels. And it just still looks like brand new as much as I've used it and worn it. Blows my mind what great quality it is. But so if you bought one from me when I was in Nepal, I hope you're enjoying yours as much as I'm enjoying mine. I get compliments on it all the time too. It's just beautiful. Okay, so here we are to the main road. There's a little kiosk. I've got a feeling they roast chestnuts here maybe or something like that sometimes of the year. Coffee menu. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pedestrian walkway. Saw this from a distance yesterday and didn't realize it was a statue. Thought it was actually just like not attached to the horses at the moment or something. But it's old. I think this one was actually, yeah, like a version of one that would have been motorized, huh? Not positive. See some of the great architecture. Lots of little cafes along the boulevard to check out. Most of the businesses are still closed. It's about a little bit after 9 a.m. right now. I did buy myself some tights yesterday. Paid $2 for them. I wish they were a little bit longer. They're a little hard time staying up, but maybe they'll stretch out some. It was a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, but maybe the people here are a little shorter than I am. I'd like to think that they're shorter. It's promoting, I don't know, some kind of live stuff. It looks like maybe a magician. House plants. Fashion. Hi. This is a cute sign. Oh, look, they're dancing. Yep. Oh, wow. This is like a store of local art. What's this? Oh, potpourri. Dishes. Hello. Nesting dolls. Good morning. Hello. Thimbles. Cute. Thank you. Ukraine. Yeah. I haven't had a chance really to get a good sense of what kind of handicrafts might still be going on here. Like some of the Eastern European countries I've seen, they take traditional things, but they're having things mass manufactured rather than still crafting them themselves. This may be. That's beautiful. Yeah, so that's pricier. I think this might be hand done. Those are cool. Oh, this is beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, cool. I'll look some more. Posters. Yes, they do have a bit of a tourist trade. You can see here that there's such a variety of merchandise that they've been able to stock here. Mm-hmm. Oh, that hand beadwork is neat. Pretty. Carved pipes. Okay. Well, if you see anything here that caught your eye and want me to look into it some more, just let me know. I could be your personal exotic shopper. Thank you. I would have said thank you in Ukrainian, but I still don't quite have it down yet. It's a tricky one for me. Nice bookstore. Okay. So there's a cafe up there on the right-hand side. It's called the Grand Cafè. And I think it might even have like some kind of a coffee museum inside. This is a grocery store right here. I was told it has some really nice selections. I haven't checked that out yet, but it's very convenient to where we're going to be spending quite a bit of time. I decided to go ahead and bring you in this little grocery store with me after I walked in, and it had a cool vibe. Here's the sweets counter. I was told they had good food in here too, that you get sandwiches and things. Yeah, people getting and eating sandwiches. Yeah, some more of that re-upping stuff. Here's the little place where they're making coffee and preparing things. Cool. Single sweet treats. Oh, for about $2, just under $2. Excuse me. You can buy frozen things by the kilo. You got your meats. Don't see any steak in there. That's something we notice a lot of places is there's just not as much access to beef. As America eats a lot more beef than most of the world. And we've got full alcohol. Store owners placing the order with the guy with his little iPad-y thing. Fruit juices. Oh, that's the end of this row. That's funny. Doesn't loop around. Waters. I might get some nuts. I'll come back later. Not quite hungry enough to make that decision. Oh, okay, I see they have the alcohol. It's like its own separate store with a separate cash register. Makes sense. Okay, your baby foods. Oreos. All kinds of sweet treats. Little boxes of cornflakes. Those are like 50 cents. I wonder if they have any soy milk. All right, well, it's got some different languages on here, but not any languages that are my languages. I can figure it out, though. Nothing is obviously, isn't that cute? Nothing is obviously sticking out as a non-dairy option here. This is the tricky part for me of travel is, these though, there you got your these are probably non-dairy options like a walnut milk and maybe that's an almond milk. That looks like wheat, but that's kind of cute. Okay, and that would be like just a little over $2. So the price sounds like it's probably a non-dairy option. That's pretty spendy for here. Okay, might do some walnut milk. Vegan, there you go, vegan. Can you hear them? There's a lot of things that are in this kind of packaging, little pouchy things. I think these might be sauces that you can cook with or something. I think that one's mayonnaise. Not quite sure. Grains of different kinds that you cook, I believe. Yep, different kinds of grains. They might have some corn, something corn based. I'll find that later. Do they have rice noodles? It doesn't look like they do. Okay, well, there's other grocery stores. I'll find something else somewhere else. Wow, look at the breads. So you see how the breads are just open here? You take fresh baked breads. People sometimes, yep, there's the bags right there. You can throw them in the bags. Sometimes people bring their own bags too. I've seen they have like baguette bags and things like that in grocery stores. Oh, okay. Here are it's a soup, or no, it looks like a pasta sauce kind of thing. So 25 is the dollar, so 38.80 gives you an idea, like under $2. This was an eye-opener for me, how expensive canned vegetables are around the world. They're not your most affordable option in a lot of places. So even though in America under $1 would be a fairly normal price for a can of corn, in these countries that's very spendy, that's very pricey. That's why people still do a lot of their own canning, and you see quite a bit of that. And there's a lot of fresh produce available in this town. I've seen them all along the streets. Okay. So here's the fresh produce department in this grocery store. It's quite a bit more than I have to choose from right there in our village in Voditsa, but not super. Look at the size of the carrots here. They're so interesting, so fat. I actually kind of like that they're still dirty and can clean the dirt off myself, makes them feel a little more like they came right from nature. Doubtful that they're organic, but I really don't have any way of knowing. These look like they're most likely imported. They're so perfect looking. Tomatoes. Yeah, what I'm still looking for is eggs. I haven't found the eggs, but I can't imagine they don't have any. That's all about the grocery store for now. If you have any questions for me with that, I'd be happy to try to answer them. Shopping for food and dealing with my food sensitivities has been a big part of our international travel, one of my biggest challenges by far in all of this. So if you can eat anything anytime you want, be really grateful. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, here's the Grand Cafè. Give you a little more of a sense of the vibe. Our barista. What the inside looks like. It's just lovely. Got these fun paintings. So as I was told, back in the day, this boulevard would have been scrubbed on hand and knee, and only the rich would have been allowed to walk down it. Yeah, I hadn't been in here yet, but I expect it was pretty magnificent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. Wow. That fireplace. Yeah, I believe at one point this was part of the Austrian Hungarian Empire. Those old newspapers. Okay, see. There we go. Oh, I know who that is. That's the Sisi. She's the famous princess from Austria. Our friend in Vienna taught us about her. The square dance contact that put us up in her guest house so generously. These are cool. I did find one vintage antique shop in town, but the stuff in there was really spendy. Wow, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll show you where these stairs. Cool. Yeah, so you see the cobblestone street. So imagine this all being hand scrubbed, and only the elite were allowed this part of town. This is the way to the school. I know different people might have different feelings on this, but I'm all about diversity and equal opportunity, and that we're all humans. That's a cool staircase. Okay. And then, but I would walk this way to where we're going to be helping out. And then that door's the entrance to the school. There's a lot of classrooms in here on this level. We had a little orientation last night, but we'll find out quite a bit more today and start meeting some of the students. We're not the teachers. We're like support staff to give the students access to native English speakers, because the school recognizes the value of using conversation for learning. That looks like a military facility of some kind. Maybe recruitment posters. Okay. Yeah, don't know what that says. Okay, well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this little walking tour. I'll be sharing more soon. Have a great day, friends. Just to give you a visual of where we're at, we are in the western portion of Ukraine, near the border. Right about here. Chernivtsi. Loving it. I hope you enjoyed this little movie, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow my blog. Here's that information. And you can even become a Rhonda Postcard Pal by going to my Patreon. It's easy, and you'll get a postcard from me wherever you are, from wherever I am, once a month. Here's that information. And I'm really glad to have you along. Feel free to share with your friends.